The word is, the housing sector is continuing to develop with inputs from the government, the Inter-American Development Bank, and the United Nations Development Program. The $500,000 allocated to the Central Housing and Planning Authority for the second half of last year was used almost entirely on roads, electricity, and other infrastructure in the housing areas, while 400 houses were completed under a low-income settlement program funded by the IDB. In an attempt to raise the bar, a few hundred septic tanks were also erected in some communities to improve public health. According to the Chief Planning Officer of the Central Housing and Planning Authority, Royal Edinburgh, the authority is emphasizing a more all-inclusive approach to the provision of housing. The Ministry of Communities wants to provide more than just a house lot, but rather a complete house in a community with all the necessary infrastructure.
You're going to be seeing in 2016 a lot of emphasis on consolidation of infrastructure work in the various regions in which we have housing schemes. You're going to witness a continued focus by the authority on the completion of those turnkey houses. In fact, we are targeting the completion of 200 such homes in 2016. The provision of electricity in the schemes, that's a major issue, because we found that low occupancy is tied to the fact that some schemes are not well provided with infrastructural services.
Edinburgh revealed that the Central Housing and Planning Authority plans to continue focusing on housing development, not just along the coastal belt, but comparable development is to take place at 5 Mile, Bartica, and further in the hinterland, where the IDB has provided more than $600 million for housing improvement in those remote communities. But preceding all the tangible development in the housing sector, a UNDP-funded National Housing Profile Study is to be launched, which is explained here by the Chief Planning Officer.
The aim here is to garner very important data, which would help to provide the evidence needed to revisit our national housing policy.
251 house lots were allocated during the second half of last year, while a few hundred new turnkey houses are to be constructed in 2016. The Chief Planning Officer says the turnkey idea has been catching on.
We were basically focusing on land before, but we introduced in 2015 the idea that people should have access to a complete house. Hence, between the period June to December 2015, 28 turnkey houses were completed at Perseverance, East Bank, Demerara. And the response was that this is an area that I think we need to expand on, because homeowners express appreciation about the fact that they have less stress in terms of dealing with contractors and purchasing of materials.
The government also plans to develop 10 new housing schemes during this Independence Jubilee year in regions 3, 4, 6, 7, and 10, plus the upgrade of infrastructure in 25 communities in region 2, 3, 5, 4, and 10. In 2016, part of the plan is to allocate 400 regularized squatting lots, identify 37 community projects for implementation, and the commencement of a comprehensive squatter regularization and relocation plan. HGP Nightly News. I'm Eugene Noel.